Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Easy Learn. And today's topic is the sine rule. And we're going to be doing some practice today. If you haven't watched my sine rule explanation video yet, pause right here, check the link in the description below, go understand the concept first, and then come back for solving. So today's question is find x. Now, this is my triangle where one of the length is 32, one of them is x, and then the angles inside are 42 and 81. Now, since I have to find my x, I need to keep in mind that if I am dealing with the two lengths and two angles, I'll be using the sine rule. And the sine rule says sine A upon A and sine B upon B. Now, as explained already, that whichever is my sine A, that is going to be the length that is right opposite to that is supposed to be my small a. For example, if this is my angle, if I take 81 as a, the capital A, then the length that is right opposite to that is my small a. So if I'm going to write down sine 81 over the length, that is x. But now if I want to take my 42 as my sine b, now if you notice that this the right opposite, the length that is right opposite to 42 is missing. I don't have this length. Now, if both the lengths are missing, then it's not really a good idea to take 42 as my other angle. But if I notice, I have a 32 here. But if I have a 32, the angle that corresponds to that 32 is missing. Now, if you will look at it carefully, what is easier to find? Is this angle easier to find or is this length easier to find? So obviously the length is difficult to find than the angle. I could easily find the angle. Now, how do I find the angle? We should know that a triangle, three angles of a triangle are always equal to 180. So no matter whatever you have inside here, if it's an x and y and a z, so x plus y plus z is always going to give you 180 because it's a triangle. In a triangle, all angles are equal to 180. So now that you notice, there's an 81, there's a 42, so which means that I have an 81 plus 42 plus, let's say, an x is equal to 180. Or let me just write it as y so you don't get confused with this x right here. So 81 plus 42 plus y equals 180. And if I want to figure that out, I can just do y equals 180 minus the 81 plus 42. Basically, you're going to add these two angles and subtract from 180. So that's going to give you your angle. If I do that, so 180 minus 81 plus 42 gives me a 57, which means this angle right here is 57. Now that I have my 81 and my x, and I have my 57 and my 32 there, so I can just simply use the sine rule, which is sine 81 over x equals sine 57 over 32, because 32 is the length that is right opposite to the angle 57. So if I want to solve this, first thing, since my denominator is missing, it's just the best practice to take it to the other side and kind of get rid of the denominator. So I'm going to take my x over there, I'm going to take my 32 over there. Now because 32 is in division, it goes to the other side, turns into multiplication. Similarly, x is in division with the sine 81, goes to the other side, turns into multiplication. So I can simply write down sine 81 times 32 equals x times sine 57. The first thing I'm going to do, sine 81 times 32. So when I do that, 32 times sine 81, make sure your calculator is set on degrees unless and until they ask you to give your answer in radians. So I'm going to do 32 times sine 81, which is 31.606. So let me just write that down. 31.606 equals x sine 57. Now, because I want to find my x, so I have to isolate x or make x the subject. So sine 57 goes to the other side. Now, because this x is in multiplication with the sine 57, the sine 57, when it's going to the other side, it turns into division. So 31.606 divided by sine 57. So when I do that, again, make sure your calculator is set on degrees, and 31.606 over sine 57 is 37.685. So I can just round it off to 37.7. So my x here becomes 37.7 meters. Why am I taking meters? Because as you see that this length is given in meters, so this one also becomes 37.7 meters. So that's going to be my answer. You have to be very careful which angle you're taking, and if whatever angle you're taking, the length right opposite to that is the one that comes underneath it. If you don't have that length, then you can't be taking that angle. So you have to probably find another angle and then go ahead with solving using the sine rule. So this is how you do it. That's pretty much it. Hope you understood the question. And if you have any confusions, any problems, any questions, just drop them down in the comment section below. And thank you so much for watching Easy Learn. And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe my channel. Take care until next time.